Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crooked MMA YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a recap of UFC Fight Night, Allen vs Curtis 2. It was a pretty entertaining card. Finished watching it like 20 minutes ago. It started at 5 AM my time, so I had to rewatch it after it had finished. But we're going to be breaking down the card, starting straight away with Melissa Mullins vs Nora Cornolle. Now, I had Melissa Mullins only because the coin, Magic Coin, said to do so. So, had Melissa Mullins. I didn't watch this fight. But she did get a knee TKO, which I missed. And she seemed to just be piecing her up. So, shout out to Nora Cornolle. She got the job done. The coin let me down. The coin let me down. I think that's like the second. I think I'm 2-2 on the coin. So, fucking hell. Not good enough. Next up, Dylan Budka vs César Almeida. Now, I had César Almeida via round 1 KO. He gets it done in the second round. Dylan Budka was nut-hugging this entire fight. 6 total strikes landed. 1 significant strike landed, and it was to the body. He just had no answers, and César Almeida showed good takedown defense, good grappling defense. And I said that in my breakdown. I said his grappling defense is underrated, and while Dylan Budka will have a wrestling advantage, don't expect César Almeida to get dominated here, and that's what happened. Budka couldn't keep him down, grappling, nut hugger. Thought Budka would be better in the grappling. I did. I thought he'd have moments where he'd get some control and land some ground and pound, and then César would get back to his feet. But he was unable to get any damage off whatsoever. So César Almeida got him in round 2. And he exposed him. He hit him with nice shots, nice elbows. Got the TKO finish. Budka was gassed by the second round. So don't really rate Budka after that performance. César Almeida's looking good. To be able to keep developing his ground game, he might be a real issue in the middleweight division coming up. So somebody to look out for. Though he is pretty old, I think. I think he's like 36 or 37. So he needs to start making a run now if he wants to get pretty far. And he caught out Chris Weidman. Do that fight, but be careful, César Almeida. You might get eye poked to death and lose the fight via eye poke TKO. So just be careful. Come in with like some goggles on or something like that. Otherwise, your eyes are going to be gone and you'll probably be blind like Silva might be after getting eye poked to the fuck house. Next fight, Dan Argueta vs Gene Matsumoto. Now, Dan Argueta was looking good. Straight up. I was rating Dan Argueta. Just going over my notes, I said Dan Argueta pressured early, got it to the mat, bit back and forth, and actually scored the first round for Argueta, although it was close. You know, he had good control, as you can see here, 6 minutes of control. He was landing decent shots to the head. He was winning the first round, in my opinion. Second round comes around. Gene was getting more successful. He was finding some openings. The first round was just too chaotic. First round was too chaotic for him to find anything to land on. But once it got to the second round, he was able to sort of pick his shots a little bit better. And then Gene got taken down and wrapped up a guillotine. And Argueta woke up half conscious. He was still like half out when he woke up. He was out at the start, and then like a second later he was up, but he's like, where the fuck am I? Gene with the nice submission win, a guillotine choke win. Impressive. Next up on the card, we had Pedro Falcao versus Victor Hugo. Now, fight wasn't on the opponent to Victor Hugo, I forgot who it was, dropped out. So when I was doing my picks, this fight wasn't there because they weren't sure if it was going to happen or not. But Pedro Falcao, however you say it, stepped in on short notice. And he had a good account for himself. Like, on 2 judges' scorecards, he arguably won a round. He was looking decent, but Victor Hugo was just better. Round 1, Falcao takes him down in round 1. Back and forth scrap. Victor landing the bigger shots, but Hugo keeping up well. And the fight just kept going on like that. Like, Pedro would have moments, but Victor would just be outboxing him, like outworking him. Pedro was pushing a nice grappling pace, but Victor on the feet was just finding nice little shots, the harder shots, the cleaner shots, visibly hurting Pedro, so that's why he got the decision. Yeah, but nice pressure by Falcao, Pedro. Nice pressure, impressive for a short notice, jump in, keep this guy around. I was impressed by him. I reckon on a full camp against somebody a little lesser than Victor Hugo, I think he could do well. Next fight, Norma Dumont versus Randamie. Randamie. That's all I'm going to call her because I can't pronounce that last name. Good fight, good scrap. Norma Dumont with the grappling, as you can see, 10 minutes of control time, 6 out of 8 takedowns. She was looking good. The grappling, I said in my picks, the grappling is where she will get it done. And that's where she got it done. I picked Norma Dumont by decision, and she got a decision win. I just thought she would be able to take her down, and I thought she would look alright in the striking. She was definitely at a disadvantage in the striking, but she could keep up. It wasn't like she was getting completely schooled out on the feet. Then she would find her takedowns, get on top, be dominant, land little hammer fists on top, but a lot of it was just control time that won her this fight, controlling the fight overall. My notes, I said, first round, Norma took her down and controlled her on the back, looking good, 10-9 Norma. Germaine looked better on the feet, but Norma had moments on the ground, 10-9 Norma. Nice ground game in round 3 for Norma to win the round. So she won every round in my opinion, but round 2 I'm guessing is where the judges gave it to her, which it was a close round and could go either way. Next fight, Valter Walker versus Łukasz Brzeski. Now I had Valter Walker, and I arguably think this fight was a robbery from what I saw. I could be completely wrong, but just going straight on my notes because this is how I scored it. Leg kicks from Brzeski early. Walker gets him down, has some nice control time, landing hammer fists. So I gave first round to Walker. Brzeski started to take over on the feet, landing nice small shots. I gave the second round to Brzeski. And then the last round, I said early takedown from Walker, 10-9 Walker. So I think he controlled the third round pretty well. I know Brzeski had his moments, but I overall think Walker with the control time and the damage won that round. And the judges gave it to Łukasz Brzeski. Like, fair enough. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. But I did give it to Walker. I think he did enough to get the job done. But obviously I was wrong because all 3 judges gave it to Łukasz Brzeski. Unanimous decision. Valter Walker, man, he started to gas. You know, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to actually get a KO in the first round. Like, getting his back on the ground and just hammer fisting him out because he does create big power from those hammer fists. I thought Łukasz Brzeski wouldn't be able to get back to his feet as easily as he did. Valter Walker got sort of exposed on the feet here, showed he's not very good on the feet, and Łukasz Brzeski was just peppering him. Łukasz Brzeski's boxing didn't look bad in this fight, but he's just lacking a little bit of power, which I think you need at heavyweight. Valter Walker, he needs to improve on his wrestling and stand up a bit. Just needs to take some more time, I think. But he's still pretty young. Next fight, McGee versus Alex Morono. Both people in this fight were throwing like they were in slow motion. I had to check, because I was watching it after the fact. I had to keep checking. I'm like, do I have this in slow motion? The commentary was talking at normal speed, so it was tripping me out. But like they were throwing like this, like literally that's the speed they were throwing at. They were going like that. Like, rewatch it. That's literally the speed they were throwing at. How are these people even fighting still in welterweight with that speed? Imagine, just to picture this. Imagine either of these guys against Ilia Topuria in boxing. They'd be getting slapped in the first 10 seconds with that punch speed. Dreadful, but Alex Morono gets it done. And I picked Morono by decision. First round, I said both are so slow. Morono better boxing round 1, 10-9 Morono, landing more shots. Just better boxing all around. McGee sort of had some little moments, but he was just way too slow. Morono slow too, but he was actually landing shots before McGee managed to. Morono landing more damage. Oh no, second round, sorry. McGee, this was McGee's round. McGee took him down. Morono almost got the sub at one moment, but then McGee started to get top control, landing ground and pound shots like hammer fist, like punching him while Morono was down. He won that round. Morono landing much more damage. He even had a spin and back kick there that landed. He was looking pretty good. So I gave last round to Morono, and that's how the judges scored it as well. Good job to Alex Morono. Gets back in the win column. I think he should just keep taking these sort of fights because I don't know how he's going to go further up. I don't know how he's going to go further up. They both didn't look good in this fight, and they looked really slow. But I don't know if it's because I was watching it at double speed through like the female fights and some of these other fights. I was looking at it double speed, then I went back to normal speed to watch this fight. So maybe that's why, but they just looked really slow. Main card. We started off with Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. Now, this was a fun fight, and I was waiting for Trevor Peek to get the upset, but he never did. I was like, oh, there's definitely going to be like an upset here for Trevor Peek. You know, Charlie Campbell's doing so well. Trevor Peek's throwing back wild, though, and he's going to find the shot and beat Charlie Campbell in like the third round. But Charlie Campbell stayed composed enough. He did get rocked in moments. Trevor Peek kept on the pressure. He's throwing hammer fists. Entertaining fucking fighter, man. Like, I'm looking forward to Trevor Peek fights from now on. I like it. He just needs to add like a little bit of more things to his game. I feel like if he had a little bit more power, he would be much more successful. But Charlie Campbell kept the composure. My notes, I just said round one, Charlie Campbell more composed, but Peek was looking powerful. I reckon Campbell won 10-9 off more damage. Campbell looking good, but Peek going off. He's going crazy. He was fucking... Round two is when Peek really started to go in for the kill. Entertaining as fuck. Campbell started to gas. 10-9 Campbell, but close round. Close round in all honesty. And then round three, I said Peek was fresher, landing good shots, but Campbell did start to take over. Halfway through round three, both looked gassed. And then 10-9 Campbell. Good fight from Peek though. Peek doesn't lose much stock here. Like, he had moments where he hurt Charlie Campbell. Charlie Campbell just always managed to find a way to be a little bit more in front, and let him win the fight. So Trevor Peek though, hold your head up, brother. Hold your head up. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Christos Giagos. Bahamondes looked good, man. He looked fucking good. He got a first round head kick KO, but he got like a spinning heel kick to the head earlier in the fight, and then like 5 seconds later got a spinning back kick to the body. Both of them from Bahamondes landing on Christos Giagos. Impressive. Giagos was looking like he could have won this fight. He was having moments where he's stepping through in the pocket, throwing big shots, but he just waited on the outside way too much and allowed Bahamondes to get going, like landing the better shots. And he was just, he was a little bit behind. He couldn't sort of get in the range, and Bahamondes just kept picking him off. Nice leg kicks, nice body kicks, nice jab. He had a nice jab going on in this fight. Just really outpointing Giagos. I'll go over my notes. I just said Bahamondes was styling on him. Punch after buckles him. Yeah, so what happened, he got spin and hook kick to the head. Spin and back kick to the body. Comes in with a punch. Wobbles Giagos. And then Giagos, he sort of looks like he recovers. He's throwing shots back. You're like, oh, Giagos is back in the fight. What a chin. And then next minute, maybe a minute later, Bahamondes throws a head kick, wobbles him. Doesn't even wobble him, it sits him down clean, and the ref has to step in because it was just such a fucking clean head kick, slumped him sort of shot. So, shout out to Bahamondes, impressive decision. Not decision, impressive win, I should say. Morgan Charriere, and also did have Bahamondes in that fight by third round KO. He gets it done 2 rounds. 2 rounds quicker than what I had. Morgan Charriere versus Chepe Mariscal. Now, I had Mariscal via decision after a close scrap. This fight could have went either way, though, so my prediction was basically spot on right. I did say that, this fight could go either way. I'm just expecting Chepe to make it more scrappy. Morgan Charriere would have had, I said Morgan Charriere would have the better boxing, cleaner striking, but Chepe would be able to make it scrappier, going for takedowns and stuff like that. And that's exactly what happened here. Chepe, looking strong, man. He got hit by some big shots from Morgan Charriere, but kept carrying on. It was fucking a good fight. Fight of the night. I think this fight was fight of the night. I hope it got fight of the night. Got on my notes, I said Chepe looking dangerous early in round 1. Charriere defending good. Chepe had nice pressure. I gave it Chepe 10-9, but I put a question mark because it could have went either way. Round 2, I said Mariscal landing better shots. Clear win for that round. Chepe ended up with a nice front kick to the face, though. He was getting outboxed that round pretty badly. That's why I think one run... Oh, no, never mind. They gave it 30-27 to Morgan Charriere. I was going to say, you can't give Chepe 30-27 because round 2 he was getting pieced up. Landed a nice shot, but Morgan Charriere wasn't wobbled or anything. He might have been a bit stung, but it was just a really nice shot. Front kick up the middle to the chin. And then round 3, Chepe has him up against the fence, but then gets taken down. Chepe ends strong, though. If Chepe didn't end strong like that, he would have lost this fight. I think the ending where, the judges say to themselves, if there's 2 more minutes in this round, Chepe would probably get the TKO win. So I think that's sort of the mindset they went through, because Morgan Charriere was winning the rest of that round, and Chepe just had a really good ending to that round, and that's what won him the round from the judges' perspective. I think I scored it, 2-1 Chepe, but definitely could have went either way. It's what do you prefer, Morgan Charriere's early, clean, tight boxing, or the ending from Chepe that only lasted like a minute but was pretty dominant? Like, it wasn't like he had Morgan Charriere in all types of trouble. He just got his back and was just kept punching him, hurting him. So there you go. Next fight, Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. Now, this fight sort of changed my opinion on Alexander Hernandez. If you watch my pick show, I was saying Alexander Hernandez, he's really good. Like, I don't understand how he loses all the time. He's really good. But I sat back, paid attention in this fight. And the big problem with Alexander Hernandez is his accuracy and his punch selection. He always just hits the guard or hits the arm. He never finds openings. He's not very good at finding openings. He's got the physicality. He's got the shots. He's got the power, but it's just landing him. He can't land shots. He finds it hard to land shots, so he just kept hitting on the guard. And that was his biggest problem here. He's a frustrating fighter to watch because I know a lot of people hate him. I'm a little bit of a fan just because of his fighting style. I don't think much of him as a person or anything, but he's got the style where, he could go on a run. Like, if he's changed some things up, he could easily be on like a little win streak right now. But Damon Jackson got the job done by a split decision. I reckon it went the right way. Damon Jackson deserved to win. I said, nobody landing much on the feet in round 1. Jackson gets hold of Alexander. Nice leg kicks from Jackson. Damon Jackson gets him down. 10-9 to Jackson because of the takedowns and the leg kicks. Round 2, this is when I started to realise. I said, Hernandez just can't land clean. Jackson landing good shots, so was Hernandez. Hernandez would sneak one through, but Damon just was landing cleaner throughout the round. End of the round, won Jackson the round when he got his back. I sort of thought Alexander Hernandez was winning on output, but then Damon Jackson got his back at the end. So I was like, all right, round 2's to Jackson. And then round 3, Alexander Hernandez actually drops Damon Jackson. I'm like, here's Alexander Hernandez's chance. This is his chance to finish the fight. But he gets taken down. From what I remember, I think he gets taken down. Or maybe Damon Jackson just survives. Mono says Hernandez drops him early and almost finishes him, but then just held against the fence for the rest of the round. 10-9 Hernandez. Yeah, that last round was frustrating because, Hernandez dropped him. Damon Jackson got back in the fight, and then they were just holding each other up against the fence for I'm not even joking, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It was on the ground, then they went to the feet, just up against the fence. I'm like, Hernandez, break away and land some bombs on this guy. You've heard him earlier this round. You've probably lost the last 2 rounds. Land bombs on this guy. But he didn't. He didn't. Now, how a judge scored at 30-27 is wild. I think a lot of the shots he was landing on the guard and on the arms, I think this judge was scoring, because other than that, don't know how you score at 30-27. Yeah, wild stuff. Good win from Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson was being a cunt, though. He'd be all respectful, and then Alexander Hernandez is doing the thing every fighter does, put their hands up when they win, and he's like, put your hands down, put your hands down. Like, fuck up Damon Jackson. After he did that, I was like, I hope you fucking get robbed. You fucking person. Next fight, main event. Fuck, they're red, brother. When I had a bit of a fucking been in the sun too long or something. This was a good fight. And I gave it to Allen. I had it 3-1 to Allen in the end, but it was so close. And I'll explain why it was close. So we'll go off the notes. Round 1, Allen's boxing looks good early, sort of competing with Chris Curtis on the feet. You know, Chris Curtis boxing, he's always patient in the first round, so I reckon Allen was actually outboxing him in that round. And he gets Curtis to the mat for a moment, but Curtis gets back up and he lands some decent shots. Clear 10-9 Allen. Round 2, Curtis starts to get his boxing going, but Allen keeps up well. But I gave it 10-9 Curtis. He didn't wait as much in this fight, which I liked from Curtis. He didn't wait as much as he does in other fights, so I did like that from Curtis. But Brendan Allen is there to be hit, in all fairness. He sort of stands in front, not a lot of movement, and he's there to be hit. While you get somebody like a Jack Hermanson who's always skating around, that's when Chris Curtis waits. So, yeah, I scored round 2 to Curtis. Round 3, back and forth, and then another fucking eye poke. Yeah, who gets eye poked? I think Chris Curtis got eye poked, and I was like, Chris Weidman has been training Brendan Allen. No, but it was this one wasn't on purpose, and Brendan Allen wasn't a fucking cunt about it like Chris Weidman was. So fair play. They get back into it. Curtis wobbles him, but Allen manages to get to his back. And I scored at 10-9 Curtis because he did wobble him. I think he wobbled him with a straight right or something like that. Sort of buckled him for a moment. Round 4, sorry. Close round on the feet. Another takedown for Allen. So it was sort of close on the feet. Then Allen got a takedown. So I was like, let's score that to Allen. I think he won that round. He probably won that round just off damage anyway. But the takedown sort of solidified it. And then round 5, I wrote, whoever wins this round wins. Both tired. This was the annoying part. Curtis was winning that round until he pulled his hamstring. I believe he was winning that round until he pulled his hamstring. I said it was like a minute left. I'm like, all right, whoever wins this last minute wins the fight. Curtis, last 20 seconds left. I'm not saying Curtis could control this. I'm just saying it's so fucking unlucky. Last 20 seconds. Gets up, pulls his hamstring up against the fence. It looks like Brendan Allen gets him with a nice knee, which he might have done too, and that might have hurt him as well. And then he could have just blamed his leg. But from the perspective of the viewers at that time and the judges, it's probably like, oh, fuck, Allen just hurt him with a knee to the body. Chris Curtis is hurt. Chris Curtis, if this fight goes on for another 30 seconds, Chris Curtis could be done. Chris Curtis could be like KO'd. So I get it why they scored that last round. Unfortunate for Chris Curtis. I feel like, yeah, if he survived that last 20 seconds with landing his nice shots, even if they were going back and forth, I think Chris Curtis would have won the fight. But he didn't. It was a split decision. One judge gave it 48-47 Chris Curtis's way. I'm guessing they gave him the last round, gave him the benefit of the doubt. But I do think Brendan Allen deserved to win that fight, and This is tough for Chris Curtis. Good for Brendan Allen. Give him a jump up in the rankings. I actually did want to talk about that too. Brendan Allen deserves a jump up in the rankings, in my opinion. I'm not too sure what he's ranked. Middleweight rankings. Because he's on like a 7-fight win streak now, something wild. Brendan Allen, number 6. Just bet Chris Curtis, number 14. I think give him either Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vettori, or Sean Strickland rematch. Just depends what they do with the division. Because he's not going to be fighting backwards anytime soon because how impressive he's been. So, yeah, I reckon book him against Marvin Vettori, Jared Cannonier, or Sean Strickland. One of them, he deserves it. Big respect to Brendan Allen. turning his career back around, and I think he's somebody to be an issue with. I think he could beat Marvin Vettori. I think he would run into troubles against Jared Cannonier or Sean Strickland, in all honesty. He called for Dricus, and I would rather see Brendan Allen versus Dricus du Plessis than Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis. I want Sean Strickland to get the rematch, right? I want to see this fight again, but I'd rather Brendan Allen gets it than Israel Adesanya gets it. Maybe that's a video for another time, because I could rant about that for ages. But anyway, guys, as always, I'm going to be uploading UFC 300 videos daily this week, or almost daily. I'll have the pick show coming up probably tomorrow. As always, guys, take care and have a good one.
Give me 5 minutes, I'ma pull up with like 5 niggas. Give me 5 minutes, girl, I'ma be right with you.